Hey, welcome back to another edition of Avidgolfer Magazine's Drive Time feature. Now, this one is a peach. I'm a car enthusiast. I like fast cars. I like cars that got a rumble. Cadillac just unveiled a brand new 2022 CT4V Blackwing. This is the top of the line here, folks. This is the one with all the oomph. They'll have a CT5V Blackwing coming shortly, and that'll even have more horsepower. But for right now, this baby is sweet. I want to thank the guys over at Crest Cars in Frisco for the availability and use of this fine vehicle. It's going to get a long peek at this puppy, inside, outside, how it drives. I think you'll like it. So let's check it out. All right, how about a little glamour shot? This is the power plant. This is the 3.6 liter twin turbo, 472 horsepower, 445 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. And you'll hear in a little bit, has a rumble that will just delight the senses. But here's it is. I mean, it's all laid out. Fantastic news. Got the V badge on it. Again, this is the Blackwing, not the, well, I don't want to say dummied down, but it's a lot less horsepower and everything, which is just a CT4V. This is the big kahuna. This is the last of a breed. After this, I don't think Cadillac's making anymore. Everything's going to electric, the Lyric and all this kind of stuff. So if you're into this, it's going to be a limited supply. If you're a collector, I'd jump on this puppy. But here it is, all laid out, and it's smooth, but it has performance when you need it. Got a lot of kick to it, and I was immediately smitten. All right, when you're talking about sports cars, they not only have to be fast, they should look fast, right? They should have a little bit of bite to them, a little bit of aggression. And I think Cadillac did a super job with the CT4V Blackwing. Got this nice mesh here, it's kind of all blacked out, love that. I like this color, it's like a dark gray. You also have the carbon fiber option here. Gives you a splitter down here, a lot of downdraft. So if you're tracking this thing, which a lot of people might do, even though you can drive this thing really comfortably on the road, this is all added here. Part of its looks and most of its function. But why not have the best of both worlds? You also have the signature, I don't know what you call it, kind of like a stiletto type lighting arrangement. Very bright, which again, as I get older, you know, I like something that illuminates the road. This does it in a fine way. I just think it looks super from the front. All right, you got the wheels here. They're Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, one of the top of the line sports rubber you can put on this thing. Only 18-inch rims though. They want to do that because it's a higher sidewall, so it gives you a little more comfort when you're driving, but it doesn't hurt at all in the handling department. Cadillac did a good job on that. You have the polished rims here. You have the Brembo expanded brake pads here. Awesome stuff. Calipers, sorry, they are the calipers. I just think it's a nice clean look. It's understated. This car's kind of like, it really is a wolf in sheep's clothing. If you have it in a parking lot, you might not notice it that much. You will notice it on the road. I kind of like that, especially when we're dealing with, you know, the men in blue. So yeah, good stuff here. It all works out very well, and rubber's excellent. Michelin's highly rated on that, and I just think everything just works, which is all you want. All right, I was talking about understated but still sleek. That's what the Cadillac CT4V Blackwing has. Very streamlined roof line, which it should be. I just like everything is simple, elegant, still kind of means something. Has some air vents right here. You have some glossed out black side rails, which I think gives it a nice look. And this all works. I mean, this is cool. The black contrasting side view mirrors. If you go towards the rear here, again, you got the red caliper Brembo brakes, and it just looks great. Looks great. Everything looks really aggressive and racy as you get towards the rear. I think this looks a little more sublime. Thank you. I don't know, it's a little more basic with just enough to show that this thing has some oomph to it. You have quad exhaust, you have a rear diffuser down here. This is an optional package along with the carbon fiber, where it has just enough spoiler on this that shows it means business. You can also get one of those big, huge whale tails, where from what I read, when you track it, has some of the biggest downforce, which is what you need on the track to keep the car planted. I think this is a nice happy medium. I mean, it all depends what you want, but you get a whale tail, you get something small. I think this is a nice happy medium. All carbon fiber. Look at the trunk here real quick. So one of the downsides of this car, it only has 10 cubic feet of storage space in the back, unless you put down the rear seats, then it's a little bit more. The only thing that's important to me, can I get a full bag in sideways with a driver? Voila, you can. So if you golf and you like fast cars, this will still work pretty good. All right, let's check out the interior. We'll start with the back seat, because there's been some complaints that the back seat might be a little too small. 5'10", pretty comfortable back here. Here's what I like. This is what's thoughtful. So you have this lower part here to house the sunroof and the shade, but back here it's nice and cut out, so I have that much room. Pretty cool, pretty cool stuff. What I like about this is called a sky cool gray interior, and the contrast is amazing. You see the red stitching in here, you see the red seat belts. It's an option, but I'd get it because it's just cool. And it's very comfortable, it's ventilated, heated, everything is great on this, and it's immensely comfortable. You have Alcantara suede on the back seats, which you'll also have right here. I just think it's a nice rich look. You have contrast stitching everywhere. You have 2 vents back here, keep you nice and comfortable. You have good visibility, that matters to a backseat passenger. All in all, this isn't bad. This is a compact sports car, and a lot of compact sports cars should really be 2 doors. This one has 4, and it's a good utility. It actually works. It doesn't feel bad. My feet can get in underneath the front seats. That's always a plus. I'm smitten. This is good. This is really good, and I could drive in this for a while in the back seat and have no problem. It's more fun in the driver's seat though. All right, as sweet as the exterior is, and the racing tires and the Brembo brakes and the diffusers and all the carbon fiber options on that, this is where all the action is, right here where I'm sitting. If you're not driving this thing, you might enjoy it. If you're driving it, I guarantee you'll enjoy it. In fact, if you test drive this thing, you'd be hard pressed not to drive off with it. So let's start. There's a lot of stuff to get to. I'll try and hit the sizzling high points. So your steering wheel is nice. It's all in that Alcantara suede. It has a good feel to it. Doesn't get hot in the summertime. It doesn't get too cold. You have most of your controls on here. You got your volume control and certain buttons that will customize this screen a little bit. So let's get to it. So I already told you about the back. So this is where all the contrasting stitching is for that cool sky gray interior. Love it, just love it. Decent storage all the way around. Again, you're driving this thing. You're not carrying a bunch of stuff. So it's all about being driver oriented. What kind of feedback do you get, and what's the overall experience like? So right here, this is your G-forces. This is where the lean is on the road. Right now we're at 3%. Gives you your tire pressure. This is your turbocharger. Tells you how many, if it's spooling and giving you some extra oomph. Right here you have different options. You have a trip, you have a performance. You can do lap times if you'd like. We'll get into that more later too. Driver assistance. I can go ahead and raise and lower depending on how far away I want to be from somebody. Then you have the audio, nav, phone, maintenance options. I can change put a tachometer on there, speed warnings, speed signs. I would definitely recommend speed signs in this car because they sometimes are very well hidden. And that's pretty much it on that. Now, this is what they call, watch this screen, this is what they call V mode. You can customize this any way you want. But if I put this in V mode, I can change all these settings here from steering, suspension, engine, shift, brake feel, engine sound, performance track management, It's pretty cool. And I like a loud car. I mean, not overly loud. You can tone it down if you want, but I can move this thing all the way up to here. Let's see if I can do that. Did go to V mode. Come on. There you go. So now, you'll hear it more when we drive. The downshifting, the rev matching, it's pretty intoxicating. Hell, half the time I didn't even turn on the radio. I just wanted to listen to the engine. So that's how that works. You can also switch the modes. If I want to go, I can do snow and ice. I can go tour. I can go track. I mean, pretty much whatever you want. And when you get into these, you can even make those individual. So you can have a track 1, track 2, and you can put on all the nanny gate safety features you want. Or if you're a Hellraiser, just take them all off and live by the seat of your pants. Rear wheel drive, so you'll have a lot of fun tossing this thing around. It's very, very responsive, but it's also comfortable too. It's tough to meet those, make those two worlds match. So all good there. Then you have your screen here. If I go to the different settings, I can go to home screen. I can do Apple CarPlay, which is what you see. You can also do, okay, this is really cool, although I can't do it because this is a demo car. This is your performance data recorder. So if you're one of these guys that worries about everything, maybe you're going to see a wreck, maybe you're being stopped for a ticket and you want to put everything on record, you can go ahead and do so. And you can't do this because it doesn't have an SD card, but you get the idea. You do lap timing, video overlay. A lot of people like it, and you know, everything that's on YouTube these days, where if it's not in pictures or video, it didn't happen. Not a bad little feature. I think it's about 1,600 bucks as an option, but what price money, right? So there you go there. That's pretty cool. And everything else is fairly standard. You have an AKG sound system, which is sublime. It is so good. It's 14 speakers, crystal clear. GM does a good job. You know what I'd like in this thing too? 4-door Corvette. Because my buddy has a Vet, and he says, wow, a lot of this stuff is really similar, except for that long bar you have in a Vet that has all these controls on this rail. But it all works well to me. You have a wireless charger right here. You have heated and cooled seats. Let me show you what this looks like when I pull this up. So if I do this, I can put this on, I can change the lumbar, I can change the side bolstering. If I put it in massage, right now I'm getting this roll effect. It can go anywhere from 1 to 3 after a hard day on the course, and you put it on hot. Pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. It has Android Auto as well, Wi-Fi hotspot, and it syncs up to the phone. Great. Bluetooth is great. They've really thought of everything. I mean, it really is pretty cool. The sunroof is not bad. It goes about 6-8 inches, and you have a cover here if you want it. Want to keep all that. I like light in the car, even if I don't open it up. It's just one of my bits. You can do your garage door settings when you're at home. You can link those up. If you're into how you look, okay, there you go there. You take it off, put it over there, and if you're into that stuff. But in the visibility for a small sports car like this, smallish, I would say a compact, pretty darn good. Large side view mirrors. I never really worried about having any blind spots in this car. But again, the attention to detail, the contrast stitching, the red piping, the, I'm gonna get this wrong every single time, sky cool gray, the contrasting seats just are awesome. And then you have some gloss black here, just a nice touch. Glove compartment's decent. Who cares about a glove compartment? And you have auto hold here. So when I want to take this is one of my favorite features. You want to take your foot off the brake at a stoplight, put on auto hold, it holds the car. You don't realize how great that is until you don't have it. Head-up display. I can move this up and down based upon, it's very clear. It gives, right now it's giving my speed limit or my speed, and it also tells me what my RPMs are. And that's really nice. Anytime I don't have to look down, I think it's a good deal. So there you go there. Oh, this is cool. So this is more carbon fiber when you get that with that option, right? Gives you badging numbers. So the serial numbers, when it was made, this is 41 out of 178 on this one. You can also get this in a manual. Now, Cadillac says they're going to sell 250 of those. That's it. And when they're gone forever. Some people still like it. I would say 3% of all cars out there on the road are manual these days, but people that are into being a car enthusiast, track it, whatever, they just like that feel of being in total control. You got the clutch, you have a stick shift. It's old school thinking. I don't know if anybody these days in Gen Y or whatever generation we're in, I'm not even sure if they've even seen a stick shift. But for a 60-year-old, yeah, you kind of want to have some fun with it. And the massaging seats are working very well, I might add. The steering wheel is also heated. Heats up pretty quick too. And everything else, cruise control and all that is standard. But Cadillac did a really nice job on this. I mean, it's not, is it overly opulent? I don't know. But it's classy in an understated way. And that's what I like. That's my forte. That's what I strive for, is classically understated, right? So I think I've hit the high points of this. It has a magnetic ride, which is their suspension. That is incredible. It can find imperfections in roads like within a tenth of a second, 100th of a second. It's crazy. So I can put this in full-blown driving mode with every feature on there, take all the nanny gates off, have it in the most aggressive steering, on suspension, acceleration, engine, everything else, engine note. But I can still put it in comfort as far as the suspension goes, and I'm kicking butt, but I'm still chilling. I mean, the tour mode, you could drive this forever and never even know this is a sports car. So when you have options like that, you're not drilled in. Some foreign cars, they have one suspension and that's it. And you better you better drive on really smooth roads or be ready for a kidney belt. So Cadillac did this in a great way. Just sad that this is going to be the last one. Pretty soon they're going to go, the next round they're going to go to the high performance all electric car, which I'm holding my breath on that one. I'm not too sure. I like noise. I like a little engine thrust. I like the burble when you downshift, the rev matching. It's all good. So okay, I think that's about it. Anything more you need to know? I would go test drive one, but I think I've hit the high points on this, at least something to whet your appetite. Gets about 16 in city. It gets get about 23 on the highway. Depends on how spirited driving you enable yourself to do. Again, doesn't matter. It's a sports car. You're not buying it for gas mileage. You're not trying to squeeze out every last drop. You're squeezing out every last bit of fun. All right, so let's take this for a test drive and show what this thing really can do. Talked enough about the interior, exterior, all the tech, which is substantial. Let's take this thing for a ride. Okay, and I have this engine sound high. I have steering, sport, suspension at the limit, engine shift, brake feel, engine sound, performance track management. I have it in sport, which means everything is just about off, which is kind of exhilarating. So let's take this thing for a ride and just see what this thing can do. So if you punch it, oh boy. Yee! All right. So that, again, 0 to 60, 3.9. Actually, the manual is 0.2 slower. Now on this road sucks. This is in Las Colinas. They have more imperfections, bad soil, bad everything. And I'm not too jostled around, even with suspension in the highest mode. If I want to drop this down a little bit, all right, now it's a little bit calmer. Still has 472 horsepower, 445 pound-feet of thrust, torque, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty special. Wow. You know what? I could drive this all day, because when I'm feeling saucy, I can put it in the highest sport mode possible. When I just want to cruise, or I have passengers in, maybe a little queasy with fast driving. Oh boy, those tires are great. Very sticky. Makes you wonder, I mean, if some people just have to have a V8 because that's the way it is, not the vegetable drink, but the engine. V6 these days are just so powerful. They get so much energy out of 6 cylinders. You know, this 6 is like the old 8. They just squeeze everything out of it. The steering is balanced. It's that magnetic ride control. Again, figures out every imperfection. Might be the best on the market. In fact, I want to say Lamborghini copied it. They leased the rights to it or whatever, and they put it in their cars because it can be a daily driver. It's that comfortable. Nothing wrong with that. So you have race modes, you have wet, dry, sport, all nanny safety features included, or you can take them all off. I mean, whatever floats your boat. Also depends on what kind of talent you have driving these things, because sometimes these cars can get away from you a little bit if you're not ready for what these cars actually do. If you have the manual, they have a feature where you can put your foot on the accelerator, mash it, and it will and then shift, and the engine will match the rev. Pretty cool feature. Again, only about 250 of these are ever going to be made. Woo! Here's a little pop behind it. Pretty nice. Wow. I mean, that's first class stuff right there. And I got my massaging seats going so I can chill, and it's ventilated, so it's kind of nice and cool. The steering feels great. Got the paddle shifters. Knock those down at any time I want. See, now you can hear it more. You can hear that. You can hear the burble on the downshift. It has rev matching. For some reason, I'm not sure why this is. Somebody smarter than me can tell me. But it seems to have the highest rev match sound and feedback in second gear. Not sure why, but that's what this has, and that's what a lot of these sports cars have. Man, this thing is it's balanced. It's just works. Everything. Cadillac, mwah, did a heck of a job on this. Be very proud. And again, if you're into this stuff, you're into these car enthusiast rides, I'd snag this one pretty quick, because again, they're badged on the bottom. They have a limited supply, and it'll be a collector's item before you know it. Woo! That's good stuff, folks. That is good stuff. I dare you to test drive this car and not walk off the lot with it. It's that good. Wow. That is thoroughly amazing. I'm so smitten with this. I love sports cars. I've driven just about all of them. This one, it's a wolf's in sheep's clothing. It can be a daily driver. You can cruise in it. Get decent gas mileage at 23 if you don't push it too much. But the bottom line is you have so many options. This would be a great car to track if you're into that, because everything just works. The brakes are substantial. The tires are great. Suspension's awesome. Steering's incredible. You can listen to your great tunes while you're going at it. Wow. I mean, this is good stuff. Again, I want to thank the fine folks over at Crest Cars, Crest Cadillac in Frisco, for the use of this, because this is like Christmas coming early for me. Get to drive one of these puppies, have fun doing it. I mean, this road is horrible, and I barely feel it. You'll feel, I mean, the bumps are there, but you're not jostled by it, you're not rattled by it. You don't need to be putting traction afterwards. Maybe it's the massaging seats that are heated at the same time. I don't know. All I know is, put it in manual here real quick and I'll use the paddle shifters. And it's got a good growl to it. It's not going to kill the neighbors, or they're not going to kill you. And again, when you put it in tour and all that, you can dummy that down. Again, all about options. Me likes the options. Me loves the options. So there you have it. It's the 2022 Cadillac CT4V Blackwing. Make sure it's the Blackwing, because that's the big kahuna. They'll come out with this CT5V Blackwing, which will, I don't know, have 680 horsepower and gobs of torque. It's a bigger car too, but I think, you know, for the size, for the money, everything else, this is a pretty good sweet spot. It's the Goldilocks of the Cadillac sports car line, and kudos to them. This is good old American ingenuity, know-how, engineering, and everything else you want. This is the real deal, folks. So if you're into this, pick one up as soon as you can. So there you have it, folks. I'm doing this, wiping off the drool. This is the Cadillac 2022 CT4V Blackwing. Again, I want to thank the folks at Crest Cars in Frisco for the fine availability, use of this car, so I can enjoy it. It starts off at about $59,900, which is an amazing price for what you get on this. This puppy, loaded up with some carbon fiber and some performance stuff, comes at about $78,000. But if you're a car enthusiast with some a little bit of rumble, a lot of horsepower, a lot of torque, a lot of handling, a lot of creature comforts, this is something you need to take a look at. Thanks a lot for viewing. See you again next time.